literally everything.
From switching. Okay, hello, we're back. Hello! Good evening, good morrow, and good day. And welcome to another edition of Slice and Dice here with the Manylands campaign. Tech, sorry about the tech. The tech is a problem. The tech I've been working on hopefully will not be a problem with tech going forward, but it remains to be seen, especially with some of the equipment that we deal with here on the stream. And speaking of we, going to bring in everyone else. Good evening, everybody. Hello. Okay, they can't hear you either because that has also changed. I'm just going to fix that on the fly. Yep, there we go. Device, and it's just a series of letters and numbers. Fantastic. I'm going to switch it over. Okay, let's try that. Sorry, guys, can you start speaking again? Hello, good evening.
Hello.
There we
Hello.
go. I got them back, everyone.
I realized I didn't set up my lights, so you get this
All of
bonus
the lights.
footage.
Oh no! Well, of course, those of you who tuned into our last stream 2 weeks ago will have seen not our usual session in the Manylands, but in fact we were chilling out in the Manylands, and Marta did indeed demonstrate some of her lighting display, lightsabers.
And display, darling.
A display, darling.
Display.
Yes.
Most excellent.
Yes. Yes, thank you, Marta.
You're welcome.
You're gonna make me derail things even more than we did pre-stream. So I'm refraining for now. I'm trying to restrain myself because that got incredibly over the top. Actually, kind of
OTT,
like, as it has done
darling.
in the session before, especially when we've been playing Reginald. I think it was a similar voice. Anyway. I digress. So, yes, last time, 2 weeks ago, we were chilling out in the Manylands. Now, that was a live-streamed session with just us talking about the campaign, about D&D, about mental health, about all sorts, really. We covered a lot of bases. It was just, a nice, relaxing stream, but you guys got in touch in the chat with your questions and things like that. It was all very nice. All very nice and relaxed, which was what was needed, especially for me, definitely, after isolation period just before during that. So it was good fun. But now we're back with the Manylands campaign, and before we begin today, I've got a couple of shameless plugs for you all. First of all, so for those of you who are fans of The Cage, which is our series on YouTube, you will have noticed session 16 is now up. I mean, for some reason it was meant to go up on the 4th of November, and then YouTube failed and it didn't go up, the premiere, so I then put the premiere back another 2 weeks, so it went up last Thursday. You can catch that now on our YouTube channel. You will have noticed that we had some tech issues there because it was our first in-person session of The Cage, and well, my quite old laptop, the one that this campaign began on, could not handle the amount of camera sources. I mean, it barely coped, if you'll remember, towards the end with our setup when we began the campaign for the Manylands. But for The Cage, just wasn't happening, and so it got restricted to, I think, just a bird's eye view of the battle map and a camera on the DM, Stephen, and that was all. So we hope to rectify that because on Sunday we had another session of The Cage. Regrettably, however, despite the changes that I implemented to make things work, it still didn't work. So after much deliberation and some reality check conversation, we have decided with The Cage that we are going to be pulling that back. So instead of having each session individually going up onto YouTube, we're going to have a sort of roundup of discussion of everything that's happened in the story for 5 sessions, a kind of recap thing like we do for the Manylands, but that will be all for The Cage. And this kind of goes in line with some of the stuff I think we talked about in the chilling out in the Manylands, where I've realised that I've been overcommitting myself and overstretching myself, and so when with things as they are with The Cage, it was just like maybe let's pull it back because we were really enjoying the game anyway, but was getting kind of distracted with trying to make everything work tech wise. So stripping it back to basics. Stephen will be on the chats with me when they occur, which should be like every sort of 5 sessions or so, where we talk about everything that happened, and that will be then premiering on YouTube when that happens. So that is the state of play with the Cage. So if you want live streamed D&D, then the Manylands campaign is where you need to be. And of course, all of our sessions so far in the Manylands campaign are all up on our YouTube channel right now, so you can catch up at any time with all of the sessions thus far. That was a big old shameless plug for that. Aside from that, ladies and gentlemen, do you have any shameless plugs at all before we jump in with tonight's session?
I do.
Yes, go ahead, Martha.
Yay! Well, a little game that you might have heard of called Battlefield came out
No,
a little bit ago, maybe. Okay, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You know, it's one of those things. You might have heard about it, might not, but I'm in it. It's finally out. I can finally say that I am in that game, and I am the commander of the Russian side. So if you play the Russian side, sorry, the headphones are telling me the battery's low, so I'm just doing this at the same time as these shameless plug.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So everything that's been going on so far with tech.
I know. No, but if you play on the Russian side, you end up getting yelled at by me.
Yay!
That's it.
Yay.
Shameless plug. Yay!
Yay!
And that's it. That's my plug. Enjoy me yelling at you.
I'm sure everyone will enjoy you yelling at them on Battlefield rather than in real life, because, you know.
Vehicle stopped on shoulder.
So we have another voice for Marshall.
Yes, so as you can see on the display, Bart and Marshall are both with us today, however, no video for them. Hence, we have their lovely character art in their place, almost as lovely as their actual faces. This is, of course, by, I should really give a shameless plug to her. To Marie 945. Anyway, Mariam Safdar did the art, fantastic for all of our PCs in the campaign.
So good.
So good. And very reasonably priced as well. If you want to get some character art done, like look Mariam up, she's fantastic, really good. And it's so cute as well. They're so cute. But anyway, enough fawning over that. I think without any further delay, let us jump into tonight's session here on the Manylands campaign on Slice and Dice.
Oh,
We are back. Hello, James Gecko. So we nearly lost James there. You're all right. I'm embarrassed. Okay, not a problem. Right. So, folks, last time on the Manylands campaign. Oh, here are my notes. Everything's fine, everyone. Nothing's going wrong. It's all good. So anyway, so last time, whilst some of the group were going to bed for the evening, being very sensible adventurers that they were, some were not so sensible, such as our beloved Brucon, giving into his gambling ways, his many vices, at Caladan's casino, doing not so well on the roulette table, but holding his own in Black Dragon, and therefore walking away with at least some of the chips that he had to begin with. So, kind of a win there for him. However, he did get exceedingly drunk and eventually stumbled back to stumbled to the inn via a message from Leobrin to tell Brucon where exactly the party was staying at the inn called Bronzalurgy in the Bronze District. Wandered over there, eventually found his way there, and found a bed for the night. Also missing was Seth, who had been not abducted by an individual that he recognised as the Cloaked Man. He was, in fact, the person who hired Seth all that time ago at the very beginning of the campaign to locate and extract parts from the basilisk. You may remember all that time ago. Anyway, they were back after Seth's message to them, having collected the parts, had the parts delivered to them by Seth's old not pirate crew. And Seth personally delivered the basilisk egg to the Cloaked Man, along with the tainted wine, which supposedly was laced with lycanthropy. And in exchange, he was rewarded for his efforts. He was given some gold, quite a lot actually, of in the Dragonborn currency, the Rachiri dragons, and also some potions, some healing potions, greater healing potions, and a couple more interesting potions or poisons, shall we say, to be used at his leisure. And he was also given a new target, that being a creature supposedly that dwells in the catacombs underneath the palace, that has one great eye and several other smaller eyes. And the description was vivid enough that it caused the veteran players in the party to go, even though they were not obviously there to witness it, the characters, but certainly the players witnessed that. And yes, we know what that is, but let's not go any further than that, because that'll be fun when that eventually comes up. So you were given that task, and then Seth hatched a plan to avoid or talk his way around the zone of truth that Brina has a very special version of with her wand, scheming with the Cloaked Man, who's now revealed as actually the Vizier, and was also rewarded, or supposedly rewarded, with the Gilded Vizard, which Leobrin currently has in his possession, and was taken from the Many Masks assassin back in Rackfell Manor, again, from a plot some time ago. All these callbacks all coming back together. And so Seth now knows how to speak to other members of the guild using that mask. This is knowledge that Leobrin currently doesn't have. Anyway, he was then teleported back to the inn, found nobody was looking for him, or was indeed worried, and then found out that from Brina via message that she in fact had deduced from the description of the spell that it was a teleportation spell that would require Seth to be willing to leave, so they weren't worried he was in any immediate danger. So that's nice, isn't it? Anyway, eventually everyone woke up and got about to their business in the morning. The first to get up was Malar and Naeris, who went and did some shopping. Naeris did not return because she was really needed that retail therapy and disappeared off to the Silver District. Malar, meanwhile, got some components for some spells, some plotting and scheming that he's been doing. So he got some flowers and he got some grain, I believe, are the two things you got. You're also on the hunt for incense, but have not yet found it. Leobrin came up with tried to assist Brucon, I guess, from his drunken stupor by getting him a pint of wine and getting some curried eggs for I can't remember who they were originally intended for, possibly Seth, but I think Brina ended up eating them, had some upset stomach. It was a lot of things happened there, but you guys decided that you wanted to stay at the inn another night and would rather stay there than at the palace, so you paid up front for your rooms for the evening, and that meant you could store some of your stuff in your rooms. Before your business of the day, you decided you didn't want to keep the king waiting, so you went back over to the palace to talk to the king about this dagger. Malar, using his locate object, he'd made a note of Naeris's ring, so that he could locate her if he needed to, but he was using it exclusively at this point to try and locate the bone dagger. Now, Seth along with some of the party, was suspicious of one of the captains of the Royal Guard, who had taken the dagger and not returned it. The guards obviously take the weapons from our heroes before they enter the palace to make sure that nobody is armed when they approach the king. The king is very security conscious. But the bone dagger had not been returned, and they haven't seen it since. So Malar casts Locate Object, eventually deducing that the bone dagger must be inside the palace, because he got it for a moment and then suddenly it disappeared, as if the anti-magic field was blocking the spell. So meant you could continue en route there. You found the king there. You found him talking to Pharrell Ragthrock. But actually, one last thing before you got there. Leo sensed he was being watched. Finally, there's been a while. There's been this weird twinge going on. He's wondering what exactly has been happening. There seems to be something arcanic, but there seems to be something. There's a presence around him that he couldn't quite tell what it was. And this is compounded by the fact that Leobrin's feeling his connection to the Feywild diminish over time. He's feeling it thin and is now starting to come across some issues with his magic, which will become more apparent when the next short rest happens, perhaps, with the rolling and stuff that we discussed last time. But Seth used Detect Magic to then see an invisible sensor hovering around Leobrin, and so recognized that he was being watched. But, of course, that sensor could not go past the anti-magic field. Through some cunning and use of message, Seth was able to communicate about the sensor to Leobrin without the sensor supposedly picking up on it. And so you continued on your way, went inside the palace, and that sensor disappeared. No ideas yet of who that sensor is from and the rest of it. It's just knowledge enough that you're being watched. So anyway, you saw one of the heads of the head of the Bronze District, in fact. Pharrell Ragthrock was speaking to the king as you entered, and she, in fact, then, in passing with you guys, suggested, hoped that you would join her at the soup kitchen that evening to discuss matters further, and how, with your newfound celebrity status as pit champions of Herthir, that perhaps you could work together for the good of Rachir and for Herthir. You were then left with the king, who noted that you should really go and speak to the commander of the enforcers, Balthazar Bolt, rather than the king at this point, because he has more information about your next task. But it was noted by Brucon that, in fact, given everything that's happened so far, you probably should be given some information about the Red Mages rather than just being promised you're going to get information. So they revealed, the king revealed that, in fact, the Red Mages are after artifacts that once belonged to Ushtag the Deceiver, one of which is the great big frickin' dragon skull, of which the throne, the Maw throne, in the palace sits sort of encompassed by. The skull is very prominent in the throne room. So that is one of the artifacts that the Red Mages are after, hence the anti-magic field is going to make it very difficult for the Red Mages to access this, because they're mostly sorcerers and wizards and the like. So it's going to be very difficult for them to get this particular item. And he also revealed that the dagger is now in his possession and is being kept safe within the palace. Which then caused a little bit of discomfort for Seth, because he had inadvertently told the cloaked man, the vizier, that the captain was possibly working with the Red Mages and that you wanted to get him on his own for questioning, which the cloaked man, the vizier, has agreed to do. So we'll see what happens with that in the future. Anyway, with that information, Brina was then tasked by the king to look at some ancient arcanic texts which they have in the library inside the palace, some of which pertain to the times of Ushtag, and also to the Red Mages themselves. So this could be very useful information for all of you in this situation. So she has agreed to work there during the day, though she will still stay in the room at the inn with the rest of you during the evening. So she's not completely isolated from you guys, and she's kind of grown attached to you over the time so far. So we pick things up with all that information in hand as the four of you at this point, Brucon, Seth, Malar, and Leobrin, are heading out of the palace. But before, so that is in the time period that we pick things up. However, we're going to go to Naeris first, because during this time, Naeris has been having a lovely day so far, going over to the silver sector, doing some shopping. So, a bit of retail therapy. So, Marta, Naeris.
Yes.
Yes. Was there anything in particular you were looking for in your shopping today?
Well, she's been missing having a cape, as you know. Some of you may know, at the beginning of this
yes, a
campaign,
blue
she had a
one.
cape. But she's thinking, she's open-minded about colors, but she's kind of having the whole dark, intimidating thing happening. So, she's hoping to find something that totally goes with her outfit, but also could get some extra perks, have some extra attributes.
Yes.
Given that she's probably never had this much money in her entire life.
Well, yes, this is her newfound wealth. Let's see how long it lasts, right? So, all right. So, what I'll need you to do then to locate, to see what kind of cloak that you find, could you make an investigation check, please?
Duh, darling.
Duh.
Duh.
Okay.
Erg. 10.
10. 10 total?
10.
Okay. All right.
I know.
Okay, so the silver district, the silver sector, is an abundance of colours. It's a sensory explosion. This is meant to be the cultural capital of Herthia, really. This area. So you observe as you are wandering the streets that there appears to be many street performers, many of which are asking you for money. Obviously, you speak Draconic, so this helps that you can understand exactly what's going on rather than just being accosted by people speaking in a foreign language to you. And you see their various arms boxes and the rest of it, the coffers. You also note a large theatre, which doesn't seem to be open at this point. It's probably too early for the first shows, but certainly it's a big, impressive building, one of the older style Riccieri buildings. So is in a very wide base, but going up into it's a very conical shape, but incredibly wide at its bottom. This one. You do also find many street sellers of clothes and wares. One particular one comes up to you. They have a jeweled eye patch. This Dragonborn has a jeweled eye patch with a big scar that is obscured by the eye patch to some extent. But they do have this very elegant sort of fur-trimmed overcoat. To go, darling, good day. Might I say, the outfit you are wearing is incredibly smouldering, smoking. I love it. Where did you find it?
Oh, thank you. Just something I picked up, just here and there.
It's not something I've seen around here, but I would love to get something more than that. And you see kind of a little bit of a forked tongue appear out of this person's mouth, which you weren't expecting. Most Dragonborn don't generally have forked tongues.
Yeah, she's a bit weirded out by that.
That's a bit much. And actually, I would say at this point, you will then also notice that their nose is certainly longer, or their nose. What am I saying? But anyway, their jaw line it's a much longer than you would than Dragonborn are, and then you suddenly clock. No, this is a lizard folk. This is not a. It's not a Dragonborn at all, but anyway, they're different. Mm-hmm. Also, lizard folk have tails, which Dragonborn don't, but you didn't notice this under the overcoat at first, but suddenly you start piecing it together as they're speaking to you. Also, the accent slightly different to the Dragonborn, hence the long, drawn-out expression rather than the more Slavic kind of edge that the Dragonborn seem to have. Anyway, would you care to take a look at my wares? Is there anything particular you are after?
I'm actually in the market for a cape. What do you have for capes? I like a little bit of drama, I'm looking for black, but with drama. And also, if it has any additional perks, that would be really...
Perks, you say? Nothing but the best for one of the pit champions. Am I right? Yes.
Very much so.
I thought so. Well, if you want something practical, I may have just the thing.
So good.
You're right there.
Yeah, it's so great. I love it.
Let's keep going.
We can do this. We can
I
keep
could do
a
this all
straight
day.
face.
This is. I find this all very encouraging. All right. And he pulls out. It's actually, to be honest, it's rather drab. It's kind of grey, looks a little bit faded, and it appears to be patchwork all over this particular item and this particular cape. But each patch seems to have a symbol on it, and sort of flutters, billows it out towards us. Now, this may not be too much to look at. However, it is extremely practical. This particular item, which for some reason I can't remember the name of right now, as I'm trying to look it up. Yes, it has each of those patches are in fact arcanic runes, and when you rip one off, it actually it creates the item as if out of nowhere, making it very useful for whatever you have in mind. As long as we have the corresponding badge, of course.
Mm-hmm.
some
Not
of you veteran players might
really
remember what this is.
crazy about ripping my cloak to shreds.
Oh no, darling! It's stitched onto the fabric. It's not actually a part of it, so you can easily remove it. It's sort of affixed to it, if you will.
I see.
Yes, it's not. Don't worry too much. It's not going to damage the thing. And of course, if it did, I would give you a full refund. Of course.
I would expect so.
His sort of reptilian eyes look from left to right and almost on their own, and then back together. Oh, sorry. He's got an eye patch. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
His one eye.
The
Looks
one
around.
eye.
Forgot about that little detail. Okay. Yes. Well, if that doesn't take your fancy, I'm sure there are many others here. How about this one? The magic that's in this particular cloak has to be worn to be demonstrated. Would you care to try it on?
No.
Oh.
No,
Shall
I
I demonstrate?
Yes, please.
Excellent. So this
One too many kidnappings makes you a little a little bit more shy about these things.
Kidnappings. Well, I suppose the life of an adventurer can be the lifespan of an adventurer can be somewhat short, can't it? Sometimes. I mean,
I don't know the half of it.
Well, I came a cropper once myself, hence I have just the one eye now. Perhaps for another time.
The demonstration, please.
The demonstration, yes, darling. So he pulls out this emerald green cloak. He throws it about his shoulders. Actually, it's more of an aquamarine in the lights as he throws it over his shoulders. It's kind of got a gold trim to it, and he swirls it over his shoulders and then puts his hands on his hips, and suddenly the cloak billows majestically on its own.
That's very, very impressive. Is that all it does?
Yes. Marshall's laughing.
Okay, let's put that on the maybe rack.
The maybe rack. Oh,
The
maybe.
maybe.
Yes. We'll put it on this rack just here. Here we are. Right. One more for you. Now, you said you don't want clothes that get damaged. Well, I happen to have something that repairs itself.
Interesting.
Yes.
Well, given I'm pretty good at repairing things magically, would it do anything else?
He kind of just throws it aside, like casually, doesn't even think about it. You know what? I have one more that perhaps needs to be used with care, darling. This can be a little bit in the wrong hands. It could be could run afoul of this particular item, which is why I don't put it on general release out on the racks here, but I do have it out the back.
I like it already.
I thought you would. Well, one moment, and you see him sort of disappears to the back of his stool, kicks open a chest, and inside is this midnight black cape, which he pulls out. It looks like it's made of silk, so it's kind of got a sheen to it. Now, there is an activation word for this particular cape, but you do not want to be wearing the cape when you say the activation word. In fact, you want to be hurling it at somebody else when you say it, because it would then wrap itself around the person that you throw it at and could cause suffocation.
I love it.
Yes, well, it is some people's thing, you know. I don't judge, but if it is for you, I'm sure
It very well could be.
Obviously, if you have the coin for it, it's one of our more exotic items. And I say our in the royal hour. It's just myself working in this particular stall. I'm but a humble merchant myself. I haven't made my introductions, have I?
No. I didn't ask either, but that's okay.
That's also true, Pit Champion, and I know you by reputation, but you may not know me just yet.
And your name is?
Forked Tongue.
A bit on the nose, isn't it?
Yes, well, unfortunately, the Dragonborn don't have much of an imagination, and so it is the moniker that they gave me when I arrived, and I have stuck with it since.
Okay, well, it's a pleasure to meet you. Shall we discuss how much this one would set me back?
Perhaps we should, yes. Well, I will, of course, include the chest with it, so that you may transport it safely and keep it undamaged. But it would of course be not the cheapest of items. To have this particular one would set you back two of the jade dragons.
How much is that? I don't know.
It's quite a lot. It's I think it's 16 platinum off the top of my head.
We have if I'm looking at this, it's we have 500 platinum. That's what I'm looking at in my inventory. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. And okay. Well, I think I can handle that. How much for the one that billows?
Oh, the billowed cape. Well, that's a much more common item. That would only be 15 bronze dragons. That one.
Let's just throw it in there.
15
Why the
bronze
hell not?
dragons in gold times 4, 60 gold pieces.
Just throw it in there just for fun.
Oh, darling, excellent. So now you have a cape for every occasion. Excellent.
Would
Well,
you
I hope this
advise?
serves you well. Yes?
I guess you advise against wearing the black cape.
You can wear it, just don't say the activation word. You'll find the word written inside the chest.
Excellent.
In Draconic, which I understand you speak and swear this back and forth, yes.
Yes. Well then, pleasure doing business with you, and if you don't mind, I would like to wear the billowing cape out of the shop.
Of course, I would expect nothing less. Do take care. Try to avoid the alleyways. The kobolds of the crafty crew tend to be operating, and they do like
I've
to catch
met
people
one
unawares.
already.
Oh, you have. Oh, then you know that on their own they're not such a threat, but when they return in bigger numbers, that's when you have to be careful.
Well, I'll be sure to be careful.
Good, yes, and I hope you billow majestically for the rest of your days.
Oh, thank you very much.
Oh, you're quite
bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So you've exit from Forked Tongue's stall and back into the market.
Honestly, I don't need anything else. It's just like retail therapy. Yeah,
you can certainly have been browsing for a while at this point as well. So
yeah, I'm kitted out, so I just want to head back to the inn, I guess.
All right, cool. So you start heading back to the inn. Meanwhile, as you're doing that, the rest of you exit the palace. And you're now... where is it you're heading? I believe there was discussion about going to see Balthazar Bolt. I think Brucon knows the location, which is a building with a blue door next to the Docklands Gate, is what you were told. However, that's only one idea. I don't know if there's somewhere else you wanted to go instead.
No, I think we agreed to head there and grab Naeris on the way. Make sure let's do that.
Party together for the talk
Sounds
of
good.
what we're doing.
Okie dokie. So as you exit the palace, you notice the weather has improved here. It was quite grey. It has been for most of the time you've been here, really, and I think there's been spatterings of rain. But it seems to be brightening up today, almost kind of greeting you after your ordeal yesterday. It seems like a curtain has lifted in Rachir, and you see the sun for the first time you've been here as you descend back into the city from the highs of the palace. Going through... this is quite a sensible idea by you guys to pick up Naeris on the way, because you, of course, go through the bronze sector to get over to the Docklands Gate anyway, so you're more than likely going to find her on your way if the timings align.
Well, as Malar moves through, he is shouting at the top of his voice, Naeris! Oh, Ms. Naeris! Just
is this enhanced in any way, Malar?
every couple of minutes he'll bang out a thaumaturgy, one of those, but for the most part it's just his voice.
Excellent.
Do I need to roll to see if Naeris hears it?
Yes, you can roll perception, but with advantage, because Malar... I mean,
is loud.
I did hint loudly, but obviously thaumaturgy I know is one of his go-tos, so...
well, that's good, because I got a natural 20. So... So can I just decide to appear with my billowing cape?
I
would like to stage an entrance,
right.
to show up.
Okay,
yeah,
so to do this, you will need to make a stealth check, which will need to be to beat everyone's passive perception. Because yes, they are looking out for you, but they are not. I think passive is fair, given the amount of people around, and
so that is 15.
15. That's going to be close. Who else is perception trained? I think who's going to have a high perception? Brucon, what's your passive perception?
Passive perception for Brucon is 13, so not
13?
that great.
Leobrin?
Brucon kind of lives in his own world that occasionally intersects with reality.
Sorry, Marshall, I can't hear you. Nope. Okay.
I think we might have lost Marshall.
We might have lost him.
I can look at...
I was getting out of the car.
Leobrin
is from what I can remember, is not perceptive in the slightest.
I'm just pulling up...
You're right. I've just brought it up. His passive perception is 10. The highest would have been
dear Lord.
or Malar. Oh, no.
It's 14.
Yes, which are 14. So you beat it with a 15.
Yes!
So...
All right.
You catch everyone unawares when you make your grand entrance.
No. Wait. I got an idea. So are there any carts or anything around there?
Yes, the Bronze District does have a few, yeah.
Okay, so I sneak around and then I just basically climb onto whatever cart of like some random merchant and then just go like, I have arrived. The cape. You called.
Marta, Naeris, have some inspiration.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You see a quite disgruntled worker at the other end of the cart, be like, "Hey, what?
In a minute.
What?
Doing a thing here.
Oh, it's pitch champions. Everyone, pitch champions. They are here. Yeah. And then, like a small crowd starts gathering around.
Thank you.
And they recognise the rest of you as well, and they kind of they're surrounding you a bit as well. You see a couple of the smaller dragonborn, some of the children and whatnot, got little pieces of parchment, and they're coming up to you like. And obviously the rest of you don't speak Draconic, but Naeris, you would understand that they're asking for autographs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a hand on Leo's back and I go, Leo, your fans are awaiting you, and push him towards is there any kids that look really muddy, like they've been playing in the dirt and stuff like that?
You son of a.
Yes, the Bronze District, most of them do. To be fair, they mostly play outside in the mud. So.
You are a bad man.
I'm gonna point down to Leo and just go, the champion Leo, and just slowly move him towards a group of dirty people that are all sort of too excited to see him.
And Naeris full on gets into the whole this celebrity, she's starting to soak it up and starts being, let me mend your shirt, or mend this, You. Oh,
Oh,
just.
oh dear.
I'm here. Thank you for your love.
I'm Mother Teresa.
Yeah, exactly.
Healing.
Just go mend a few things, then mending for you, and mending for you, and mending for you. Not for you, Leo.
What?
Oh yeah, no, she stopped
Obviously, mending
mending
takes
your
a
rough.
minute, but you can,
just-
you spend
I
2
know.
hours
Yeah.
on each one.
But Leo is I'm still Leo distressed.
It's true.
If we're being surrounded by some people, can I make a perception check just to keep an eye on pickpockets for kobolds and stuff like that?
By all means, you can do. Yes. Go for it.
It's one of those things like we're no longer in the same room as the DM. Your secret roles are super secret, so we can't
Yes,
even
you
be
don't
like,
even hear
oh,
them.
shit, you just
Yeah. Unless I have the camera like down here somewhere, so you can see me like.
Yeah, we
And
can't even be
I'm
like,
doing some
oh, he's
secret
super.
roles, so.
Yeah, we can't even be like, oh, you rolled. What for? It's like, think of something to do.
Maybe I should
That
just
is
be
a
more elaborate in my
21.
roles and be like up here somewhere when I start.
Yeah. No, you've got like a super dice tower, so we just see you drop a dice into it, and we're like, he dropped a dice. What's happening?
That'd be awesome. What did you get for your perception?
21. I got an 18 on the dice, and plus
okay.
3.
Okay, so you didn't notice this as you were shoving Leobrin into Muddy Children because that was occupying your attention. But when you look around afterwards, Malar, you feel a tug at your sort of waistcoat, which have several pockets on the front, and you feel a tug.
It's a utility vest.
Utility vest. Apologies. Your vest. You feel a tug at your vest, and look down, and you see a small clawed hand pull. It seems to pull some of your. So it's just some of your candles, like nothing of particular value, but pulls them straight out of your pocket. And then, Steph, that's when you wheel round and you can see a kobold has just taken something out of Malar's pocket and is making a break for it.
Can I grab him before he gets away?
You can certainly try. Make this will be a grapple check, so athletics, please.
Okay. 19.
19 will
Bully.
beat their 13. So you
Pull
grab
him
them
up.
by the scruff. And you can see this
now.
kobold's got like a studded leather jacket on, and hair up in a mohawk, like spiked. A couple of piercings around the nose and the ear, and then you pull them up. And they're like, hey.
Oh, now you should let the soothing light of Fester into your life, good sir, and cease this thievery. Mr. Seth, is this one of your friends?
I don't know every pick. Oh shit! Is that Dave?
Well,
I don't know
Just
everyone,
starts ranting in
Malar.
Draconic, just starts chattering.
oh,
And
now
just
you
throws
can
the
have a
candles down on
candle,
the
but
ground.
you can
He
have a
throws
candle,
them
but
all
you've got
down.
to ask next time.
He
I
snatches
don't
the
think he
candle from
knows
your
common.
hand.
I turn back to Naeris, and I go to wave, but I've got this kobold in my hand, so I just vigorously shake the kobold at her. Oh, Miss Naeris! Hello! We're on our way.
Is
We're
that
going
a
to the
kobold?
Oh, and I just drop it. I just drop it from about 9 foot up,
No.
I
Keep
just drop it.
shaking it. Oh, I was having fun with that. Okay, great. Never mind. Okay, let's go.
Malar,
Ducks.
you feel the kobold strike at your foot with some sort of bladed weapon. However, it appears so blunt that it does no damage, and then it scarpers.
Okay, fine. He's off. He's away. I've got his number. It's fine.
Rukon observes all this with an expression on his face, much like the one I had earlier when I said, "What is happening right now?"
Off screen.
Yeah, off screen, and then turns to Neris and goes, Oh, Ms. Naeris, my word, that's a spectacular garment you have there. And in how many ways can it kill a man?
Oh, this one's just for show. I've got a really interesting one for
so more
more
than
murderous
zero.
pursuits.
So more than zero is the answer to my question. Jolly good. Well,
Not
it
this
suits
one.
you.
Like I said, not this one. This one's
Oh, I'm
just for
sorry.
show. No,
I was
there's
terribly
another one.
Oh well, I appreciate a person having dressing for fancy occasions and for more practical sense. Anyway, it's very
Well,
fine.
all I can tell you is be afraid when I'm dressed in black.
Okay, extra fear when Naeris is in black. Noted. I was wondering if we were thinking of heading over and having a wee chat with this Balthazar Bolt fellow, who we've been informed is the person to address in these here parts. Would you care to join us?
Absolutely. Do we expect a fight? Should I be dressed in black? Should
I mean,
I?
Well,
Is this
I
going
would
to be
say,
like an outfit change
well,
situation?
we're in Rachir, so it seems to me, based on experiences so far, consider the possibility open.
I'll keep this one for now. Let's go. Yes, she has a wardrobe now, basically, and she's very excited.
Nice.
As we start to go, can I start casting detect magic again to see if Leo's being followed?
Sure, you can do. I would say out of practicality, Naeris, because the cloak came with a chest. You probably would have put that back in the chest. I don't know if you want to take the cloak with you, in which case you probably need to peek at the activation word in the chest before you do so.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Cool. Okay.
Can I double cloak it? Is that a thing?
I would say no. I'd say you just have to roll one up and put it in your bag.
Okay, yeah, I'll roll one up and put it in the bag. I'll have a peek at the horde and yeah.
I mean, you could do it. Try and start a new fashion trend in Richard.
The world's not ready.
Double cloaking, you reduce the effectiveness of the whole situation. You need one cloak. Double cloaking is not better; it's worse.
It's when she has the billowing one. She has the billowing one underneath it, and she accidentally says the activation word. She's got it billowing, and then the top one just comes over and attacks.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
the activation word is draconic, and it means choke. However, to outside ears, it sounds like Heimlink.
Perfect.
Oh no!
Perfect. Just wonderful.
I see what you did there.
No.
Well,
No.
I will be rolling up and taking the Doctor Strange cape with me.
Other capes are available. Yes.
Other capes sold separately.
Okay, so you guys are going to are heading towards on the lookout for Balthazar Bolt's office, which you've just been told
feel like
behind the Docklands Gate and a blue door.
I feel like we might need to develop a sort of like a code phrase or something for when Naeris is going to make use of that ability. I'm thinking we call it the Heimlink stratagem. Mission
inspiration, Bruton. Oh no, hang on, that wasn't Bruton. That was Bart. I can.
Just
roll
Bart, have some life
as it
inspiration.
happens, Bruton actually already has inspiration, so it's fine.
Okay.
So by the time I just want to like use the time between like in and then getting to the guy just to tell everybody what my fancy new cape does. Okay. I want my team to be aware, not of the word, aware,
just of what it does.
Yeah.
Before they get freaked out. Yeah.
And that there is a word, but I won't tell them because reasons.
Everybody knows about the word. Anyway, sorry. Okay, and you continue on your way. However, so you know what the door looks like to this place, but sorry, James, go ahead.
I'd say, did the detect magic pick up that floating orb following Leo again?
No, you did not pick up an orb picking up Leo while you had it up.
Cool.
So it doesn't appear you're being followed currently. But yes, good to try that out every now and again. By the way, it's detect magic. Are you ritual casting it, or are you using spell slots, or is it an item?
No, I've got it's an invocation, so I can just do it at will. So it's,
of course, you've got the detect magic invocation now. Okay, great.
Yeah, it lasts for 10 minutes. I don't need, so it just takes an action to cast it, and it lasts for 10 minutes.
Yeah, no problem at all. Great. Yeah, familiar from when Leo had it all that time ago. So, yeah, cool. It's back. I got to now think about those schools of magic as well.
Long ago.
Yeah. All right. So what I need you guys to do at this point is you're looking for the place with the blue door by the Docklands Gate. So can you make perception checks, please? As you are
Let me try.
Looking for it.
Oh, shit, dice.
13.
17.
7.
17's going to be enough. So Brucon, you would spot just tucked away. Sort of, it's almost there's a small cluster of buildings on your left-hand side of the Docklands Gate. One sort of tucked around the corner from that, you notice as a blue door, like a sky blue door.
Sorry, that was
The
me.
one you're looking for. Yes, you spotted it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Brucon. I feel like Brucon doesn't. Would he? How? A question I now must ask myself: how sensible would Brucon be about this? And I think the answer has to be not massively. So Brucon kind of stops and points it and goes, "There it is, we found it." Just complete lack of social stealth going on whatsoever. Just going, "Yep, found it."
Found it. Okay. All right. So now you're all aware of where the blue door is. Heading that way.
Yeah.
Sure.
Brucon marches straight up to it and knocks firmly on the door.
Well, do you? Because as you approach it, you hear some hushed words to your left, and you just kind of as you kind of casually or out of curiosity kind of glance round, you see there is a shady group of individuals. Most of them appear to be kobolds. But there are 2 dragonborn amongst them. Again, with cloaks pulled up over their faces, over their heads, and all seem to be wearing again this like studded leather armor, like the jackets, like you saw the kobolds back in the Bronze District wearing.
Is it possible to tell if one of the kobolds is the one that we encountered earlier?
With your 17 perception, and I'll say it carries over for this check as well. You can't tell if it's that one, but certainly the jackets are a striking.
They're clearly affiliated. Yeah.
Yeah, there seems to be a connection there. Maybe they just got them from the same supplier. I mean,
okay, and they're just standing around looking shady, are they?
There appears to be something changing hands between them. You get a strong odor coming from that direction, a pungent sort of herbal smell, and you can see some coin has changed hands as well.
When you say pungent herbal smell,
yes,
let's get explicit here. Does Brucon's narcotic senses begin to tingle?
Yes, I think you've actually come across this particular smell before.
Oh, really? I've smelled this smell before.
Brucon has definitely come across this smell before.
Oh yeah. What does he recognise in what context?
Yes, you recognise that you actually have some of this particular substance.
Is it by any chance? Oh God, where I've got to find it in the. Is it fallen stardust?
It's not that. But
okay.
It's not that. But you were. Oh no, sorry. That's the one you have. I've got this wrong.
Yeah.
But you have come across this particular substance before, and you were aware of the effects of it from your frat boy days. But it's Nation's Favourite. You would recognise it as, which is it's a smoked herbal.
Okay, and in terms of its effect, are we more at the Mary Jane cannabinoid end,
yes.
Up the crystal meth? No, okay,
it's very much the cannabinoid end, yes.
Right, okay, relatively light, kind of like those kids are having fun. Wouldn't expect their teeth to start falling out, kind of deal.
Yes, although if they were to smoke enough of it, there could be some strange side effects.
Sure. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I think so. Brucon's attitude to this door is, I don't really feel the need to be particularly what's the word? Underhanded here. But he knows that Brucon knows a drugs deal, and he knows the etiquette when it comes to drugs deals. So that when he sees this group, he clocks them, but doesn't immediately respond.
Yep.
But does keep an eye. And I feel like Brucon sort of adjusts his path to take him close to Malar, and kind of taps him on. Now, thinking about relative scale here, I think it's going to have to be the knee, because Malar is quite a lot taller than Brucon. But Brucon taps Malar on the knee and says, "Some of your friends over yonder. I know the stuff there. This is kind of somewhat muttered." And he goes, "I know the stuff they're exchanging there. It's not the most dangerous stuff going, but you never know. Be on your guard."
What is it? What is it, Mr. Brucon? What is that? What's happening?
It's just a fun. It's just a it's a gateway to having some nice. Having some fun with your friends, possibly a little too much fun if you have enough coin for it. But it's not it's not volatile particularly. I don't think we need to be too much on our guard, but you never know.
Do I get what he's talking about? Do I get that it's drugs?
Malar, make a history check.
Or insight.
No.
If you're trying
for this, specifically,
Malar has a strong history with drugs.
10.
10. You vaguely recall in your earlier days in the Hammerfern Institute that there were some students who were expelled from the institute for their use of recreational drugs, and it is not condoned at all by acolytes of the Eight. They find it quite abhorrent, the use of drugs.
So when Brucon has gone doing their thing, it takes like a moment just for Malar to twig, at which point he looks over at the crowd and goes, "Oh, drugs!" and runs over and tries to scatter them.
Brucon sees this and goes, "Malar, I never knew you had it in you. My respect for you has just grown enormously. I wouldn't bother though. I'm sure I can get my hands on something better."
The kobolds disperse. The two dragonborn look from one to the other at this hulking great loxodon that's that's flapping over to them, and one mutters something to the other in Draconic before leaping over a couple of crates and going in further into the alleyway behind them. The one that's left looks up dumbfounded at Malar just for a moment, completely perplexed before noticing that everyone else is gone and he's the only one left. And then his facial expression completely changes. His face drops, and he goes, "Oh man, I was about to make a great bust, man. Why'd you come in here? I was undercover. Come on."
I don't think any of us were expecting that.
Stop it! I'm not. Oh God! I know you guys. Hey, stop it, Malar Pit Champion guy. I know you. I know of you. We haven't been introduced, but yeah, they were my guys. I was trying to get access to whoever's supplying the drug. But you know what? Fine. I'll just have to find another source, and that's going to take me 6 more months. But fine, whatever. Okay, you guys.
Brucon strolls over.
Balthazar, right?
Brucon strolls over, and as he says 6 months, Brucon says, "No, I'm sure it won't take that long."
Yeah, well, maybe, I mean, I am a really good detective, so I suppose there is that. Yeah. Anyway,
I mean, I bought drugs all over the place. Honestly, you can usually, I generally don't need more than a day. Anyway, hello.
Yes, hi. So we should probably talk more inside because I shouldn't really be seen with you guys. So if you'll excuse me, and he just pushes past you and heads towards the blue door. You see him. He raps on the door a few times before you all hear. Before you hear a hushed whisper from the door. Who enters here? Guys, it's me. It's Jip. Open up. Door opens up of its own and he goes in.
So this guy was doing a drugs deal literally outside his office.
Pretty much, yeah.
Outside of the detective's office.
Amazing.
Door closes behind him. And then as the door closes, you see that actually it goes from sky blue to now a midnight blue. It changes colour. Interesting. Leaving the rest of you in observing the door.
Sorry, are we just... Did he just go in without us?
Yes.
He said he shouldn't be seen with you guys, so he just went indoors.
That's a fucking knock on the door.
Knock. And again, you hear this disembodied voice, a disembodied whisper. Who enters here?
We're here to see Balthazar.
Who enters here?
We're the pit champions. He literally came to see us the other day.
The door opens, and there's no lighting inside in this. You can sense it. You can see from the natural light that's coming in that this is a relatively small room, but there is no lighting in here whatsoever. And at the far end, there seems to be another door. This one seems to be metal actually, rather than wooden like the blue door.
Go in. Knock on the next door.
Are you all going in, or just Seth?
Rickon's definitely going in.
Yeah, Mallow will go in.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so you all go in. It's a bit of a squeeze, but the 5 of you can fit into that little room. And as the last of you, probably Naeris, enters into the room, the door of its own accord swings shut behind you, the blue door. And so you're sort of in this, and all is dark for a second. Those of you with dark vision obviously can still see in shades of grey. But you can see this metal door. A slide goes across, revealing an eye hole, or like a sort of a postbox type view. And you can see two eyes looking back, which you recognise as the Dragonborn you were just speaking to outside with the leather jacket, and goes, I mean, I was hoping you guys would wait a little longer, but okay, fine. Opens the door.
I mean, if you wanted us to wait, you maybe should have said something.
Guys, I was undercover. Okay? I got a little rattled. Okay, I'm sorry. I got. It's fine. It's fine. You know, you're new to this sort of thing. It's cool. It's cool, man. It's cool. Not a problem. Cool.
You've been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
No.
When is he ever not watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
I was in self-isolation. Yes. Anyway. So you guys want to see the commander, right? Follow me. Come on. And he leads you. So this particular building, it's not particularly spacious. It seems to be the space is well utilized. There are many desks which have various sort of bits of parchment, wanted posters. They have accoutrement. You know, there's some shackles, keys, and like. Books. You can see some of the desks are very neatly organized. Other ones are a complete mess. Like clearly, each person has their own desk, and there's a spiral staircase at one end, which he leads you towards, going upwards. And head on up the spiral staircase, and then in front of you, past the landing on the first floor, there is a sort of a partition wall. Which appears to mostly be glass, but it has Venetian blinds on the other side, and a door which also has a glass window in it with a Venetian blind. But written on the glass is Commander Bolt. All right, come on in, and just knocks on the door. Oh, Commander. Yes, Jip. What is it? I've got the pit champions for you. Good luck. Opens the door, beckons you all inside, and says, "Guess I'll probably see you out there." And he heads on back downstairs, leaving you
What's his
in
name?
the presence of Commander Bolt. You got that his name was Jip.
Yep.
Jip. J-I-P. Jip.
Void Jip. Got it.
Mhm.
Thank you.
He's probably as good as a detective or spy as anyone else we've met.
Are you saying this
Yep.
out loud, or is this out of character chat?
That was out of character voice.
Okay.
It's how this universe works.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I mean, I think we head inside, right?
Yep, Commander Bolt is behind his desk. It's quite a large, but it's not particularly grandiose. It's not made of anything expensive. It seems more It seems more practical. There are many drawers on the other side of this desk, but it's quite a large one, and which Balthazar is standing behind. Nods to all of you. He's still wearing his armor as he does when he's out on patrol or at public events like he was yesterday. Sort of nods to you all and beckons you all inside and offers. There's one sort of sofa on one side of the room for you to sit at. I'm glad you're all here. Please take a seat.
Is there a Loxodon-sized?
Yeah, and are there 5 seats in the?
The sofa will only fit 3 of you, medium-sized creatures. There is an armchair on the opposite side, which Mala, you reckon, could accommodate you?
I'm in.
Do it.
I'm in it.
In it,
Nice.
it's a rather large sort of wing-back armchair, but it's oversized, so you can sit in it, and it's rather comfortable. Although it seems quite well used. It's not the newest of items, but anyway. So there's room for most of you to sit. One of you may be left standing, but whoever draws the short straw, I guess.
I will remain standing.
Okay.
We're about to roll for it.
Oh,
Ah.
Seth's gonna roll. Seth's gonna do it. Okay, fine. Well volunteered. Thank you for coming. My apologies, Mr. Ree, for the display with Macklin yesterday. That was not professional on either of our parts, but we have a difficult relationship.
That's quite all right. We're familiar with difficult relationships.
Excellent. Well, then you are well placed for this particular task. So, I trust the king has given you some background as to the assassination that was carried out but a year ago, and his belief that perhaps it is not carried out by spies from Burokrin, but in fact could be an inside job. So,
Well, what leads you to this conclusion?
what has led us to this is, through our investigation so far, it seems that the only person who could have had, the only people who could have had access to the tainted spirit, it was Zesknik. It's a Richiri spirit. You may not be familiar with it if you're from outside. But the only people who could have had access to poison such an item would have to have been members of the Dragon Council. They are the only people who would have access to the palace, to their kitchens, or anywhere else within the palace that's off limits to most other members of the public. Now, of course, there was the argument that there could have been a trespasser. However, there are certain magical restrictions from that happening, and no trespasser was ever recorded or caught. So, also from what we've deduced thus far, the way that the council has looked to sweep this under the carpet and has been less than helpful in the original investigations carried out by the armies of Richir and the Royal Guard lead us to believe that perhaps there is more to this. Now, I would be happy for us to continue this investigation and to close the case, finding no evidence of involvement from the Dragon Council, but that has not been ruled out yet.
Now, what makes you believe that? I mean, the council. I mean, why would they want to?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. I am
Why would they
familiar
want to do
with where
this?
you are coming from, Master. Mister. I did not get your name.
Malor's still in the chair, just going.
Brickman leans over and slaps him.
Oh, Shade Creek. Oh, the Deacon Malor Shade Creek.
Deacon Shade Creek. Right. So, I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. What was your question?
Oh, why would the council want to hurt the king in this way?
Now,
Surely it's against everybody's interests.
You may think so, but unfortunately, and you would be right to think so. However, speaking of difficult relationships, the formation of the Dragonborn Kingdom was something that was a collective decision by the clans. Before that, the Dragonborn Rachir was in fact a series of clans, each of which were holding dominion over a particular territory within Rachir. They have united under the banner of the kingdom, but there has always been debate, shall we say, as to who should be, which clan should be the rightful royal line. Ever since its formation, there has been disagreements about which clan should be the reigning clan. This deep-seated kind of animosity, if you like, has been relatively underground for the last century, but since the Uzbek occupation, that really galvanized the clans together. But there has been an undercurrent of some of these clans feel hard done by, that they don't get enough of a say, or that they are the rightful rulers, and I would say greed is probably the biggest cause. There's not a sense of duty among these politicians.
Does this internal strife have something to do with the border skirmishes with
Bureaucran?
Yeah. Because they flared up recently, as I understand it, from my missives and the things that I hear on the street.
Well, I couldn't possibly comment on the mining operation as to who spearheaded that campaign. I believe that the mining of our own territory was rightly the decision of the king. However, I know that the tensions have been exacerbated by certain clan leaders acting against the orders of the king. For instance, those who brought you here, the clan Lambold, their attack on the monastery was not authorized by the king. So
those things are separate. You don't feel the one against the other.
I think there could be a causality. Sure, I think there could be a link there. There's an interesting point of view, Mr. Shade Creek, which is exactly why I wanted to bring, or the king, should I say, wanted to bring outside influences on board, because so far we've been running against brick wall after brick wall. Also, we were hoping to utilize your new celebrity status, that hopefully it would give you access to these particularly influential people in ways that our agents, thus far our detectives, have not been able to do. We've tried the covert way, but it seems that actually hiding in plain sight might actually render better results.
I mean, my understanding is that Ryam Imbextel is one of the main information brokers and is a member of the council. Surely you can lean on her for some information, or are you thinking that we would be better placed?
Well, as one of the Dragon Council, she is indeed a suspect in this investigation, and so it would not make sense to, particularly as poison was the weapon that was used to assassinate the queen, the prince, and the captain of the royal guard of the time. that would immediately point to the Imbix tells for poison is associated with the green dragon.
It's their calling card, I see. Right, okay. Suspect high on the list. And what about General Funch?
General Funch is the General of the Royal Guard. Now, I'll admit that whilst our relationship is rocky, I do appreciate that she does carry out her duties as far as they should go, but that does not mean she is beyond suspicion, and
I mean, it seems to me
it'd be worth
if
to look into her.
it seems to me if there was an assassination attempt that got through the defences, then the person in charge of those defences is pretty high on the list.
Yes, Macklin Funch has been particularly uncooperative when it comes to our investigation. Also has been blocking where we have been sticking our collective noses. So yes, if you were able to gather some evidence against General Funch, I would be more than happy to bring those against her.
I understand. Okay, well, so that's two suspects. Any any other people that we ought to be aware of? There was.
Yes.
I'm not under the
Yeah.
impression that Dudra Denish is especially likely to be
yes.
implicated, but maybe I'm missing something.
Do we have a roster of the council? Do we know that, or
We
do we
do.
just have these names? We do, okay.
I mean, you don't currently have a roster on you, but certainly he could give you one if you wanted. Because in fact, he's about to launch into a list of the members.
Yeah, go for it.
Right, so the 6 members of the council, Ryan Imbixtel, as we have already discussed, Dudra Denish, as you have mentioned, is also one of the members of the council, and I will admit it seems out of character, but the Denish's mood changes with the wind. They are a tempestuous sort, so it's not beyond the realms of possibility. That being said, I have a detective on each of the clan leaders. They will be contacts for you within those districts. Whichever one you decide to investigate, there will be a detective that you will be able to make contact with within that district. But more on that in a moment. So far we've got Ryan Imbixtel, Dudra Denish. You then have, of course, the leader of Clan Lambold, who I gather you already know quite well, Caladan Lambold. Self-titled the richest dragonborn in the kingdom. He makes no pretense about the amount of power that he covets, and that is absolute power. It would be not shocking at all if he wanted the crown for himself. Then, of course, we have Pharrell Ragthrock. Though she appears to be a altruistic, philanthropic sort, she also has her eyes on the crown herself. After all, being the bronze dragonborn and a proud bronze dragon lineage, Richir was founded by the bronze dragon. So there is a certain historical right that she may not say openly, but has been whispered amongst her followers. So there could be something in that. And then there is the leader of the clan of which I originated from, Clan Xerox, Nither Xerox, a militant man. He's short of humor, but he is. The Clan Xerox and Clan Zarndak have been at odds for the longest time. The Gold Dragons and the Black Dragons have long fought over who owns Herthir. This goes back to even before the formation of the Dragonborn Kingdom. The two sides have always been at odds, so his involvement would not again be too surprising given the animosity between those particular clans. And obviously, the last and probably the least suspicious of the lot, of course, would be Clan Oryxtune. This is the clan of the Gold Dragons. Clan Zarn, of which Zarndak is the last member of. Clan Oryxtune is related to that. It was the clan of his late wife, the Queen. His brother-in-law, Bidrecht Oryxtune, he's the leader of the Gold District. Again, it seems unlikely that he would be involved in the murder of his own sister, but it's an open case, and he's on the council, so... Also, when the king dies, he is next in line to the throne now, so... But that is the entire list, and I will, I can, of course, write these down and hand those over to you. I would not, however, want to give you any names written of my detectives in the field in case it would have fallen into the wrong hands. I hope you understand.
Oh, that's fine.
I've just realised my microphone has been muted for a while.
Oh.
Which is, when Bolt says the Oryx Toon are, unlikely to be suspect, Brucon's response to that is, "You're not from an aristocratic background yourself, are you, Mr. Bolt or Sir Bolt?"
Commander is fine, but no, I am
Sorry,
not.
my mistake, Commander. Right. Okay. Well, as someone who is from an aristocratic background, I've got to tell you, family blood is definitely not thicker than water. I mean, well, I can't speak for the people of Rachir, I suppose, but certainly in my experience, blood is definitely not thicker than water when it comes to high society. I think we definitely ought to keep an eye on Clan Oryxtoon. And on a similar subject, and sorry to be a little rude about this. You say you've put detectives on the case. I'm just going to ask the question openly, and my apologies if you find it insulting. How confident are you in the incorruptibility of your crew?
How dare you, Mr. Ree? My enforcers
Insight
are
check.
beyond reproach.
Yeah.
Yes, go on.
Inside check, 1,000,000% yes.
Go
Also,
on,
I will
yeah,
also be getting in on that action. Ooh, dirty 20.
I'm not beating that.
All right. So he Commander Bolt is an interesting character in that his facial expressions don't give too much away, and it's especially his delivery. And apart from in terms of anger, that comes across, but the rest of the time he's fairly measured in his speech. That it's very hard to get emotion away. But with a dirty 20. You see there is a slight waver, a slight raising of one eyebrow that perhaps could be a tell as he feigns outrage at what you were saying.
Yeah, no, I get it. There's a sort of a slight crack in the veneer.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay. When he responds, Brucon holds both his hands up in a kind of conciliatory sorry, and says, "My apologies, Commander, but we are strangers here. We're in well over our heads in the political milieu of Rachiri society. I had to ask the question. I understand." And Brucon gives him an eye. Brucon looks him in the eye in a kind of like, if he's looking for a twinkle in Brucon's eye, he will find one.
He goes, "Good. Trust is not easily earned, nor should it be. Well, and he kind of moves over to the door, closes it, makes sure it's definitely closed to his officers. Well, if we must be completely frank, 2 of my detectives have been on the force for a long time. Longer than I have, in fact, and perhaps it could be argued are more the desk type, but I've put them on what I considered to be the lowest maintenance of the marks.
Which would be Denish and Oryxtoon, correct?
No, they're both on Oryxtoon. I needed to put them both together on the same one.
Oh, I see.
Yes,
by any chance, is
they
one of
normally
them
work together.
sort of big and fat, and the other sort of short and kind of suspicious look, just generically suspicious looking?
Oh, so you've seen Flintlock and Skull already then?
Sorry, what were their names again? Run that by me one more time.
Flintlock and Skull.
Okay, I was wondering if this was a Power Rangers reference. I wasn't sure if the first one's name was like Bluck or something. Brucon sort of waves a hand dismissively and says, "I mean, not specifically, but I know I'm familiar with the archetype. Every force has them." Right, understood. Okay, so those two are the ones you're least sure of. Is that correct?
In the sense that I don't doubt their incorruptibility. They are loyal to a fault, but I only doubt their competency. Hence, I have given them Clan Oryxdoon, who I believe is the least suspicious of the group.
All right, and your other employees, are there any you have high confidence in?
Detective Gibraltar is my finest detective. He is unorthodox in his approach. I see you've already met him. Gibraltar. He is unorthodox and has a strange sense of humor, but he's one of the best detectives that I have.
Would you? I'm sorry, everyone, but I just have to. Would you say he's your rock? No one else is sufficiently familiar with Jib.
I'm laughing.
Good. There we go. That is an extremely obscure pun.
So completely deadpan. Bolt responds, "No, Nevik is my rock." But Gibraltar is a fine officer.
I got you.
Marshall's just dying in a pool of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I'm just sad that my video is still down, so people can't see me shaking my head at like 90% of this episode.
Yeah,
I thought that was every episode.
Pain.
Okay, guys, we're gonna take a very quick break. I'll be so we will continue this discussion on the other side. We'll be back in 2 minutes. And we are back. So, no, stop theme tune. Stop talking.
Jump in the game.
No.
Everybody.
Right. Anyway, so you're in the middle of this discussion with Commander Bolt, and he stops short at this point after giving the credentials of Jip Gibraltar. So I think what would be easiest is for you to tell me where you would like to conduct your investigation first, and then I can advise you on your contact in the field rather than giving you all the information out of hand.
Okay.
Where do we want to go first?
Please, if you'd like to take your time and discuss, you're
I
welcome to use
know
my
you
office.
said
I will
you-
make myself scarce.
I know you said you can't give us a list of all your agents for their safety, obviously. Politics is complicated. If you could really give us a list of all of the other people, that would be
certainly,
wonderful.
I will. And he, I already have, and just pulls out the sheet and slaps it. Well, he doesn't slap it on the desk. He takes it off the desk and hands it over to you, Leo Bryn.
Ah, wonderful. Thank you. Yep.
The Macklin Wunch is not on that list, but certainly Funch. Slip. Macklin Funch is not on that list, but the politicians of the Dragon Council are all noted, along with their positions on the council.
Yes, I see Xerox and Pharrell are here. Right. We should probably sit down and have a
Oh, yes,
Please
Mr.
make
Leobrin,
use of my
yes.
office. Tina is outside if you need anything.
Who's...
These are very strange, reassuring names.
As you can understand, we are trained to speak common eloquently. Hence, we have more of a command of the language than most of the population of Rachir.
Oh, now, excuse me, but who is Tina, and why is she outside?
Tina is my assistant.
And you don't think... I mean, all the people you've just discussed, you don't think there's a leak with any of those people?
No, my agents are beyond reproach.
I shoot a look at Leo and Brucon. Anyway. Huddle? Shall we huddle?
Let's
I
huddle.
think I'm in favour of a huddle.
A little bit of a huddle.
Do we need to
Alrighty.
physically huddle? Could we not get another room?
I think he's leaving us in the room, isn't he?
Yeah, he's gonna leave you guys in the room.
He was just leaving.
Yeah,
I'm
not going to physically huddle.
No. God, no.
Just check.
Steph, do you want to do the check for spying devices at this point in time?
I can check for magical ones, so I'll use detect magic again.
What other? How else would someone spy on this room?
Cup and a string.
I think we'll notice a cup and string.
Yeah, let's. Yeah, I mean, Brucon quickly cast his eyes around to see if there is a cup and a string.
I found a
make a perception check.
Sure. 7.
There is
know
no
what?
cup and a
Since
string that you can see in this
Since Leo
room.
brought it up,
No cups, in fact, or string.
Is there
There
any
are
magic I
shackles
can see?
on the desk? So you're doing your detect magic, Seth.
Yeah.
because honestly, if someone's spying on someone, Bolt seems like a good person to spy on if you're a dodgy sort.
Yep, it's not a bad.
You do not get a sense of any magic in the room. The range on detect magic is 30 feet. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you don't get any magical essences thus far. Oh, with the exception of you do detect there is one magic item outside the room. It gives off. Oh God, what kind of magic is that? Hang on one second. Let me double check.
Dina magic.
Tina magic.
I'm going to relate to them that there's no magic in the room.
Seems as safe as any other room then.
So
You
I followed most. Oh,
you get the sense of a magical item, but it doesn't seem to have a school of magic attached to it.
okay.
Because I think you get the outline, is that right, of a magical item if you pick it up, something like that?
Yeah, I'm not sure what it does for magical items. I think they have to be in effect, which would give like a school if it was in effect. So I don't think it fully
You get the
detects
sense of
inactive
a small
magic items.
handheld item that has a magical effect. Actually, two. One outside of the room and one in the room.
Oh, there is a magic item in the room.
Yes, sorry, there is a magic item in the room. On the
That
desk.
changes it. What is it?
To look at, it appears to be a.
Yeah.
It appears to be.
Shake my head. I shake my head.
It's no larger than a. It's no larger than like a pod of like a flower or something like that. It looks like you could. It looks. It's sort of round, it's almost like a small pebble.
Okay,
Small enough you could put it in your nose, in your mouth, in your ear.
I'm going to say to you, this is the only magic item in the room. Does anyone know what it is?
Does anyone know what it is?
Nope.
If it's a magic item, then Brucon does not.
I mean, you can certainly make an Arcana check to see if you can deduce anything from it if you are Arcana proficient.
I'm Arcana proficient.
Ah.
Excellent.
I will inspect this pod item. No, I won't. 8.
Kind of turn it around in your hand for a moment.
It's a
Doesn't
pod
pertain to
item.
the case. Can't tell what it is. You do observe on the item that although it appears like a pebble, there is one sort of there is one hole at one end of it, very small. That's all that seems noteworthy about it. It's fairly nondescript other than that, grey in colour.
I'm going to put it in my hand. I'm going to put my hands together, try and make a little seal around it in case it is. And I'm about, if it's a listening device, should we just
put it outside the room?
Throw it out the door?
I go over to Seth. I put my hands around his hands. I look him in the eye and, oh, Mr. Seth, Mr. Seth, let me take care of this.
Happily. And I'm going to pull my hand back.
I don't let you. I sort of just grip you tight.
No.
Let me have this, Mr. Seth.
It's fine. You can have it.
I take it. There's a window in here, right?
It's full of windows, but they can't be. They're not windows that can be opened. They're panes of glass.
I'm gonna fucking throw it through the window outside.
No.
What, you're not going to open the door and throw it out the door? You're going to smash a window?
I'm just throwing it through the window.
No! Stop! I'm going to try and get in front of him. Stop him
You're
from
going to try and
throwing
stop
it.
him. All right.
You
okay.
are rational, Mela, in the group. Don't be a Naeris about
I'm fixing
this.
the problem.
Seth,
fixing the problem.
Are you trying to grab Mala, or are you trying to intercept the item?
Intercept, it's standing in front of me, no, I'm not going to grab the giant Loxodon who's stronger than me.
All right, I'm going to get the two of you to roll initiative.
9.
23.
All right, Seth, you will. Oh no, you will. I've done the wrong one. You will go first. Well, okay. You are slightly ahead on the initiative, which means that you will not have any disadvantages imposed upon you to try and intercept the item. So Mala, you reel your arm back, go to throw the thing straight through the window. As it leaves your hand, Seth, no! no! Make an acrobatics check as you try and jump in the way and catch the item.
Oh, that's the one I can do. Oh, fuck yes. 27.
20. Okay, with a 27, you catch it, you roll over, and you stop yourself just before you career into a nearby end table at the end of the sofa. Like, had you not done so well, you would have just crashed into it and wrecked it. As it does, you just do a nice sideways roll. You have the item. It's all very impressive. You have it in your hand. Mallow, you have not smashed a window.
Mallow, you don't go throwing stuff around in police stations. Have you? You just don't.
I walk up to Seth. Take his hand in my hand.
No.
Mr. Seth. Mr. Seth.
You stop taking my hand.
Mr. Seth.
Stop taking my hand.
Let me take care of this.
No. I'm going to go towards the door. I didn't let him take my hand this time. I'm backing away, and I'm going to you put your hand down, sir.
Naeris is just observing this tomfoolery and is just considering using the activation word right now.
Use it
on herself.
Use it on him.
Yeah. How do I use the graphite slate? So many choices.
No. I think there's a particular, like, they're just so annoying level to it that the activation word can only.
I was just
really
impressed that Naeris went for an item that was like wraps over someone's head and suffocates them, and it's black and it's like,
it's personal.
I'm going to go towards the door. I'm going to open it a crack, and I'm going to roll the bead out.
At least it isn't fleshy.
As stealthily as possible, and close the door again after the bead.
Okay, you do so. You do hear from outside the room after a moment, Captain, Commander, somebody, you dropped your item outside. Fine, I'll get it. And you hear
that activation word is coming back to me.
Closing the door, standing in front of it, and like, look, what's our plan? What are we doing? I understood half. Okay, I paid attention to her. Okay, I wasn't paying that much attention. There's someone that we need to find. Who are we doing? What are we doing?
Oh, well, I have an idea, Mr. Seth, but I'm going to need some supplies first. But in the meantime, maybe we interrogate one of these names.
Are we allowed to interrogate people? Like,
no,
are we just going into people's houses and?
No, Mr. Seth, ingratiate yourself to a person, Mr. Seth. Just use your nice words.
That
goes to you as well, Ms. Naeris. You're in this as well. You know, out of everybody here, you've got quite the charm.
Do the people on this list speak common?
Looks menacingly.
Have Ms. Naeris to translate. Must I do all the thinking here, Mr. Seth?
Yes, but she's just going to threaten them. We're going to be. You don't know what she's going to say.
You don't know my life.
Ms. Naeris, don't. You're not going to. Just. I had faith, Ms. Naeris. You've matured a lot in the 3 weeks we've known each other.
And there's just kind of like slowly goes like billow.
Hello.
It's just like a subtle little billow. That's right,
I'd like to insight check for when she said, "I'm not going to threaten them."
I didn't say that.
Well, she said something along those lines. You were like, "I wouldn't," or
no, you don't know my life.
Yeah.
You don't know.
No. Okay, so are we just going to their houses?
So while all this is going on, Brucon has been sort of like reclined at the corner of the sofa with his hands behind his head, just kind of like going, "This is very fun to watch." But towards the back end of the exchange, he leans forward and says, "Well, I mean, one suggestion that I might offer up is that I have at the party, I did get chatting with a number of the council members that Commander Bolt mentioned, I could possibly see if one of several of them express some interest in talking more to me. Given my status as one of the pit champions, I could possibly see about hobnobbing with one or more of them.
And
if we think that's worthwhile.
And you let Seth go on for that long before you suggested that?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
I've saved the window
Okay.
today. I've contributed enough.
Naeris, it's best
Sounds
I
like
find
a good
to let him.
plan.
I find it's best to let him sort of punch himself out and get him tired, and then he becomes more manageable.
I see.
Brucon stands up, walks over to Seth, pats him on the head, and goes, "There." And then turns to the others and goes, "So, who do we think do we have any strong opinions about who might be worthwhile talking to first?" Malar, Malar, you were suggesting that you had something that you might be able to try with some. It sounded like magical components. Do you think it would give us a lead to work on?
Oh, yes, I believe so, Mr. Brucon. We can wait for me to get these components, so we can divide and conquer. I'll go get the components and run my spell, while the rest of you maybe hunt down some more leads. I'm free and easy, Mr. Brucon. Free and easy.
Will you be able to get the components? If not, we can ask the captain here. They may be able to
simple
go for us.
instance. Yes,
Okay.
I'm sure I should be able to source such a thing.
Okay, let's go into the. There's only so many people I can talk to. Let's try and narrow down the list. If we can get some divine assistance on this, then so much the better. And I tell you what, while you're getting those components, I can have a try at something else that might give us a bit of a hint.
Fantastic, Mr. Brucon. Let's attack the problem from two angles.
Well, we've got the names, we've got the info. Let's make a move.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And on that bombshell, I will have to bid you adieu, darlings. Not Naeris, me.
Yeah, no worries, Martin. No worries. In fact,
It has been
excellent. It feels like we're about to wrap up tonight. Anyway, it feels like a good.
Yeah,
place to do
I think we're rapidly approaching a good point to break. But
then I'll
hang
hang
out
out for a few more minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you agree on the plan, and you're going to exit the office, I take it.
Yeah. Yep.
So as the door opens, you hear from sort of round the corner from this office, sort of, partition walls. Here, Commander, they're done with the room now. Commander, are you coming back? Up the stairs grumpily, Commander Bolt comes back. Oh, that was most expedient. I see you have reached a decision then? Oh, what's the... And he leans down and picks up the pebble from the floor. Oh, my apologies. I was meant to give you this already. My agents use items such as this to enable communications between each other. This will not only allow you to message individual members that you designate, but also as a line of communication with me. Whichever of you would like to take it, insert it in your ear, and it is yours.
I feel like as soon as he uses the word ear, everyone in the room's eyes turn towards Malar.
Like playing a little basketball game or something. We can just try and throw it in there.
So, where are you headed first?
Nothing but net, baby.
To which district were you? Oh, which line of inquiry were you going forward with first?
Well, we were going to try and figure that out. Trying to get some more information to narrow down on that, if it's right. Our methods are our own.
Of course. Then in which case you should definitely take this item, and then you can contact me directly when you have your.
Yes, that sounds perfect.
There you are. He hands it to Brucom because you seem to be sort of leading the conversation at this point. Hands it to you.
Sure, cool. What am I adding to Brucon's inventory?
I'll have to add it as a custom item.
Oh, you do it. Yeah, you do it.
Along with Naeris's cape, cloak.
Yeah,
sorry.
sweet.
Yeah. But yes, we'll take care of that after, probably right about now,
between
just
sessions,
after between sessions. This seems like a good point as you guys exit from the Blue Door, the offices of the Enforcers, back into the streets of Rachir. Going to leave things here for today, and we'll be back in 2 weeks' time for the next session. Now, of course, that time of year, the end of the year, and also the festivities that come with the end of the year are rapidly approaching, and so therefore we are running out of sessions that we are going to that we will be partaking in next week, this year. Sorry. So our next one could be the last one. It could be the second to last one. We're going to have we'll be having some discussions between now and the next one to see if we can squeeze one more in before the end of the year. But if not, the next session will be our last one of the year, and it will be session 80, so a nice round milestone to finish off on for the year, which should be nice. But anyway, to keep abreast of the situation as it develops, please follow us on social media if you're not already. It's at slice&d6, and of course today's session, along with all the others in the campaign so far, will be uploaded to YouTube. This episode should be dropping on YouTube on Monday. And all the rest are already up for you to check out if you want to catch up on the campaign so far. So if you follow us on YouTube. You can find the link to YouTube on our Twitch page. Just click catch up with the YouTube logo. It'll take you straight to our YouTube page where you can subscribe and all the rest of it, so that you never miss a moment. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and come back in 2 weeks' time. Until then, is it Thursday yet? Thank you, guys. Have a great 2 weeks, and good night.
Adios.
Bye.